or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome, 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit duplessisbuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes, and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros picked up their second 4-2 win over the Detroit Tigers in the rubber match of the series yesterday afternoon. Peter Lambert was excellent for Houston, going 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits with 5 strikeouts and no walks. With that win, Houston takes the series with Detroit and have now won 15 of their last 25 games. The Astros will have an off day today, then will host the Cleveland Guardians for 3 games starting Friday night. The championship matchup is officially set in Omaha. North Carolina survived and advanced yesterday, knocking out West Virginia 12-7 to claim the first spot in the College World Series finals. Then Oklahoma followed suit in the nightcap, cruising past Georgia 11-4 to book its own trip to the championship series. With only 2 teams left, Oklahoma and North Carolina will meet Saturday night in Game 1 of the College World Series Championship Series. For the Sooners, this will be their 4th trip to the finals and first since 2022. And for the Tar Heels, it's their 3rd time in the title series and their first trip back since 2007. The second round of matches begins today in the FIFA World Cup with the Czech Republic facing South Africa at 11 a.m., Switzerland facing Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m., Canada and Qatar at 5 p.m., then Mexico and South Korea at 8 p.m. to close out the day. The 2026 U.S. Open begins today from Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. Unsurprisingly, Scottie Scheffler is the betting favorite at plus 550, with reigning Masters champion Rory McIlroy a distant second at plus 1200. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station. You can give us a call on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111. In about 15 minutes, as we broadcast live from the Bill and Abear studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Abear is Acadiana's hometown lawyers on this glorious Thursday morning. I love when the Astros get a win going into a day off. I love it even more when they get 2 wins going into a day off. Only the second time all season they had back-to-back series wins. Again, they've been really good. We talked about it yesterday, kicking the can. Like, they haven't gotten swept in 2 months.
Yeah.
Even though they're playing with a AAA team most of the time. But They man, it seems. Think about it. Last year they played like over half the season. Can we become a major league team anytime soon? It'd be nice, but it's starting to look like more of like a major league team. And yesterday was perfect. Hader gave up a home run, so he got his first run allowed of the season, and he did it in a win. I mean, that's what you want. You want your closer to be able to give up a run so the Piper kind of don't pay attention to us in a win.
Yeah.
And so, the day before he gave up his first hit, or the outing before, it was the day before, gave up his first hit in a win. Then he gave up his first run in a win, and it was the first time he had pitched back-to-back days, so he needed to kind of get past that obstacle as well. So, and then they have a day off today. And then Seattle decided that they wanted to lose because the Orioles have been playing pretty well lately.
Yeah.
And so that is 3.5 back and starting to get a major league team together.
Y'all are so beneficial that y'all play in that division because
I'm telling you, people keep saying that. Right now, the American League West is better than the American League Central.
Well, the both Central divisions. You know how I feel about them.
Well, the Central divisions,
exist.
A month or two into the season, the National League Central, every team was over 500, but that's not the case anymore either.
Well, yeah, because they play each other and they all stink. The Central divisions. They don't exist. They're not real. They're just there. They're all pretty much the same team to me. The only one that makes, the Cardinals and the Cubs have a little history, so I
think the Brewers are legitimately good. We'll see if Mizorowski can give them postseason potential that they hadn't had in the past. I think the Brewers are legitimately good. They always seem to, they can't beat the Punks in the playoffs. They just never seem to be able to beat them, but maybe Mizorowski will change. By the way, Mizorowski pitches tomorrow. The Braves played twice yesterday against the Giants at home. Lost both of them. And they play Mizorowski and the Brewers starting tomorrow.
That's not who you want after that.
Not an easy series. One of the best teams in baseball right now, if not the best team in baseball right now. Them and the Yankees are playing as good as anyone right now. And they're only 6.5 up. I think the Braves are going to have a tough time winning that division. Like a really tough time. Now, that doesn't mean they can't make the playoffs. Obviously, they're still in great shape to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to have a tough time winning that division. And, I know I have to do it every year, remind everyone that you play 162 games. This is not college baseball. And that idiot, Buster Olney, who is an idiot, about 3 weeks ago, he declared that division over. The Braves were up like 10 games or whatever. They got off to this incredible start. And he declared the division over in late May.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I mean, how old is he? Has he ever been through a baseball season? And I have to remind people every year. And they think 10 out is nothing.
Not in
May.
Yeah, not in May.
I mean, maybe in August, maybe. But 10 out?
Yeah, that's nothing in May.
The Astros, I think, were 9 up in August in 79 and lost the division by a game and a half. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to have a tough time. Again, every team goes through slumps and injuries and all that. So there's a lot to be done. But speaking of college baseball, it's unbelievable what Oklahoma has done.
Yeah, I mean, there is not anybody else other than Oklahoma fans that thought that they were going to make it this far.
I mean, quite a few people thought North Carolina, but then even North Carolina almost wasn't here. I don't know if you were watching that game. They hit a pop-up trailing and late in the game in the regional. And if USC catches it was one of those pop-ups that was in shallow left field and near the fence, but it was catchable. It hit the ground inside the fence. And had they caught that ball, I think USC might have beat North Carolina. Like, they were that close away from really not getting out of their reach.
Yeah, it was not they didn't walk into Omaha.
And yeah, they've cruised since they've been there in Oklahoma. Think about this. Oklahoma finished 11th in the SEC. 11th. They didn't even finish 10th.
Got booted in the tournament by LSU.
11th and didn't even look that good.
Yeah. It just shows you how wacky
and now they're
is.
just killing everyone.
Yeah, how about this for Oklahoma's insane run? Since they trailed 8-2 in the first game of their regional against Georgia Tech, they swept the ACC regular season and tournament champion, swept the Big 12 regular season and tournament champion, and then they swept the SEC regular season and tournament champion.
And yesterday, I'm trying to figure this Oklahoma team out because to me, they weren't very good all year long. And the only thing I could come up with, we talked about it yesterday, was that they are a baseball team and they just don't really fit with the SEC, their style of play, because it's hard to win home run derby after home run derby when in a popcorn park when you're a baseball team. And I still think that makes sense, and I still think that's some of it. But then they get to Omaha yesterday, they're just crushing home runs like crazy. Yeah. Where was that all year?
They're mashing the ball.
They struggled to hit home runs in a popcorn park, and now they're just mashing these good teams. Like Georgia's good.
I really don't get it. Maybe their park is so ugly and it's small and it just looks like a high school field that they don't want to play there, so they don't perform all that well during the regular season. I really don't know. Or maybe it's just because the state is so boring.
And again, some of it is just baseball. Oh, yeah. It's just a look, it wasn't that long ago, Ole Miss, remember, came out of nowhere and won a national championship. Mississippi State won a national championship when they weren't like the favorites.
Ole Miss beat Oklahoma, right? Wasn't that the team? It was 2022?
Was it Oklahoma?
2022 was the last time Oklahoma went. I'm pretty sure it was.
That sounds right. But anyway, it's
Yep, it was Oklahoma they beat.
It's incredible what they've done. And it's not just that they're in the finals. No one even competed with them.
No.
In Omaha. They're just crushing everybody.
They bullied Georgia.
It's just it is I love it. And I don't have Vern Rule went to Oklahoma. Vern Rule pitched for the Astros in the early 80s. When James Rodney Richard had his stroke, they replaced him with Vern Rule, and he pitched the rest of the season and did great. And Astros won the division and should have went to the World Series. They lost that incredible Game 5. They played a 5-game series where 4 of them went extra innings. That's one of the most underrated postseason series in Major League Baseball history. Maybe it was, and the Astros blew it because, of course, they gave the ball to the great Nolan Ryan with a 3-run lead in the 8th inning, and, of course, he choked it like a dog, like he always did. But for the Astros. And then he left the Astro organization like 3 times. Keep going. Don't come back. But no, it's just unbelievable. I don't have any love for Oklahoma, but it's unbelievable what they've done.
Well, yeah, nobody really has any love for them.
It's just unbelievable what they did.
Yeah, it's crazy that they've made it this far. I mean, we talked about it so many times. I thought they were probably the second to third worst team in the SEC. I mean, LSU beat them, and that was my measuring stick. LSU was terrible. They looked like they were the better team.
I mean, LSU
Oklahoma.
beat them in the regular season and in the tournament.
Yeah. Casey Evans had the best game of his career against Oklahoma that Thursday.
Their offense just didn't look good.
Their offense didn't look good. Their pitching didn't look good.
I think their pitching was a little above average, but not like what it's been. I mean, their pitching was better than their offense, I thought, in the regular season. But they just, it's just unbelievable. They got these little bitty Willie McGee looking guys hitting home runs. Like just little skinny they should be look like they'd be stealing bases, just crushing balls in Omaha. It's unbelievable what they've done. And look, you got to give them credit because even though when you finish 11th, and I know the SEC is a powerhouse baseball conference, I wonder how many of their players really believed when the postseason started that they could do this.
I don't think, man.
I mean, you got to be thinking, look, we played all these teams, almost all of them beat us. They had a losing record in conference play.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't bad. They just weren't good in conference play.
I'm like scrolling through their schedule here. I mean, they lost to Texas 14-0 one time. I'm trying to see some of these up. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Auburn 14-4. I mean, they did not have a lot of. They got swept by Florida. Or no, they beat Florida once, but they got run-ruled by Florida. Like,
it is. I guess we don't have to go back that far, but Ole Miss. But even Ole Miss, I'd have to go back a little. But I don't remember Ole Miss crushing everyone when they won their national title out of nowhere. But, like, remember, Ole Miss almost didn't make the tournament that year.
Yeah.
So, in that way, it's the same. But I just don't – I'd have to go back a little. But I don't remember Ole Miss just crushing everybody. Maybe they did, and I'm not remembering correctly. But, no, this is unbelievable what Oklahoma's done. It's really unbelievable.
It's also crazy, like, if you think about it. So 2022, they go with Skip Johnson. If they win that World Series, they beat Ole Miss, and they're back this year, you're putting Skip Johnson in the same conversations as Jay Johnson and you know, the upper echelon of college coaches.
And
but
I
nobody
think people
does.
respect him, but not at that level, no.
I mean, if you saw the picture of all the coaches there for, you know, the 8 coaches at Omaha, everybody's, you know, nice polo shirt and, you know, nice pants, look like they're going to play golf, and Skip's in a Hawaiian shirt and cargo short, kind of like you. You dress kind of like you, and you're just like, that's the guy I want to have the beer with. He looks like he's the most fun out of this group.
I mean, he's like Larry Durker, so that's good. All right, so before we go to our first time out, what is our poll question of the day?
Yes, so it is, who do you have in the College World Series, North Carolina or Oklahoma? Who you got?
That is a tough question.
Really is.
Because I mean, the ease. I mean, there's no doubt on paper from game 1 to now, North Carolina is a better team.
Yes,
but that doesn't mean they're going to win 2 out of 3. Starting Saturday. By the way, game 1 is Saturday at 7. Game 2 is 1:30 Sunday afternoon, and game 3 is Monday at 6. So no, I want to. My mind says North Carolina. And I'm not going to say my heart because I have nothing against North Carolina, although Colin Moran was terrible. I mean, just terrible.
Side note, Ole Miss, I'm looking at their schedule. They did crush on the way to the college.
Oh, they did? In the World Series and in the regional, they crushed everyone?
I mean, they beat Arizona 7-4 and then 22-6. They beat Southern Miss 10-0 and 5-0 in the Supers. They get to the College World Series. They beat Auburn 5-1, Arkansas 13-5. Then they lose. So they did lose a game.
Yeah.
They lost 3-2 to Arkansas, then win 2-0, and then beat Oklahoma 10-3 and 4-2.
Well, they had pretty good crushing, yeah, for sure. All right. Again, I don't know the answer to the question.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Is I don't know one of the options?
No, it's not. Not on this one.
Well, we need an I don't know because I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know how anybody knows. Because when a team does what Oklahoma did, logic goes out the window.
Yes.
Like, you can't sit here and start at, well, they don't have this and that. Well, they didn't have this or that the whole time, like, and they're here.
Yeah, you can't analyze
So,
it.
I mean, there is no analysis here. It's just, will this Cinderella run in? I mean, Cinderella runs normally don't have logic behind them. That's why it's kind of why they're Cinderella runs.
Yeah.
Because if the logic upheld, then they wouldn't be a Cinderella.
Yep, but the thing is, they don't always end with happy endings. So
no, that's true. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with North Carolina just based off analyzing what you shouldn't analyze. But, yeah.
I guess I'll say North Carolina, but, man, I will not be surprised at all the way Oklahoma's playing. I
completely
really
agree.
And they're both tested. And I know that it looks like it's not that way right now, but what I like is I look at both of these teams as baseball teams. not home run derby teams.
Yeah.
And so I like the fact they're both baseball teams, and hopefully we get 2 to 3 games of baseball. Whoever wins, I'll be good with that. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season approaching, ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley brings these hurricane tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items. Have an emergency kit stocked with food, water, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with the battery-powered radio. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 1037 in Lafayette and 1041 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one #1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the LHSAA, are the 110,000 high school sports students in Louisiana. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to get in on the Mike's Marino on the ESPN hotline, I don't know where that came from. I hadn't said that in a while. 706-0111. Autopilot is not always good.
No, and you've been pretty good about it.
I've been very good, and then I got cocky. That's what you get for getting cocky.
Yep, you got.
Maybe I was too good. Like I always say, you got to live in the middle. Once you get too good, then you
get cocky.
You get cocky and you get vulnerable. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. But anyway, if you would like to give us a call, 706-0111. We've talked a little Major League Baseball and the College World Series. Blake and I, like a lot of us, are like, what in the world has gotten into this Oklahoma team? So if you have a baseball explanation other than the one that I've come up with, although that got foiled because they looked like a home run derby team last night, just crushing balls. It's baseball's a crazy game. It's just, we say that over all the time, and it is no question a crazy game. All right, let us head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello. How are you, sir?
It's like Milo said, 2 words. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, you're right.
But I got 2 submissions for your 1-2 punches there for the NFL.
Okay.
Both with Louisiana ties. Now, you might have saw one of these play in high school. I got Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall from Franklin, Louisiana. You might have saw Leonard Marshall play at Franklin when you went to KDM.
I did, and Franklin, I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, people don't know. Back in the 80s, Franklin and Opelousas had some real, I mean, you're talking about talent, but no question Franklin had talent, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Opelousas and Franklin were some really good teams. And then the Marks brothers for the Dolphins, Mark Duper and what was the other
Mark Clayton. Yeah, Mark Clayton. Now, absolutely. We talked about them yesterday, and I know you remember that great when the Bears in '85 were doing great, and they went to Miami on that Monday night game, and the Dolphins just crushed them.
Yeah. Now, Footsy, did you realize that Mark Duper and Joe Delaney and 2 other guys from Northwestern State won the 4x100 relay at the NCAA track and field championships at LSU?
Yeah, we talked about how they set records. I thought. I mean, they had a fabulous track team. Obviously, they could really run. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go, Footsy, and like you said, I thought about you yesterday. 2 days to bask in the glory of the Astros winning 2 out of 3.
Only the second time this season they've won back-to-back series, and I'm a little scared because I you know me, I don't normally feel too good about the series that's about to come up, and I hope baseball doesn't get us, but they're about to play the Guardians, and they've owned the Guardians for years, and the Guardians don't have Jose Ramirez because he's hurt right now, who's one of the top 5 or 6 players in all of baseball. So I feel good about this series, which gets me worried, but on paper it looks good. I've been wanting that 5-game win streak. Just give me one 5-game win streak. We'll see if they can do it.
And Footsy, the score of the last 2 games was 4-2. I thought that was very good scores.
That's baseball. Yeah, it's perfect. Yes, you got to be able to do that.
I thought everything was going your way. I said, man, this couldn't be better for him.
I agree. Feeling
All
good.
Right, Footsy.
All right, take care. By the way, speaking of surprise, if I'd have told you, it seems like every year. Now, look, last year they ended up tied for the last playoff spot, and they lost the season series to the Tigers, so they didn't get in. But still, it seems like every year there's some pitcher that bails the Astros out. It was Blanco, and then Alexander last year, and then this year, like at the beginning of the season, I had heard of Peter Lambert because he did pitch a little bit with the Rockies, but I didn't know anything about him. And no one going into the season was talking about Peter Lambert.
Yeah, nobody.
No one.
No.
I mean, 90% of us had never even heard him. And the only reason I heard him because he had played in the major leagues. I'd heard his name, but I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, he sounds like a guitarist from like an 80s English hair band or something like that. He doesn't
sounds like an accountant from Idaho to me.
Really? I could see like a
Pink you think in English? Oh, yeah,
something
okay.
like that. Like one of those types of bands.
Well, he looks more like an accountant from Idaho than he does like he was in a band, Supertramp or something. But anyway, I am amazed. Like the thing that is amazing, it's not that he's, looking like, he's got Cy Young stuff or anything. It's just I'm amazed at how consistent he's been. Like yesterday, I think he gave up 2 hits in 7 innings. That's it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like he throws that hard. He doesn't have a curveball that breaks that much. I mean, it's good, but I mean, and yet I remember the game at Wrigley where he gave up 3 runs in the first inning. And you're like, oh, here we go again, because the Astros have gotten crushed early so many. And he ended up giving up 3 runs in 7 innings. He ended up going 7 innings and giving up those 3 runs, and that was it. And he just seems to have a maturity about him. And again, it's not his first time in the major league, but it's not like he's a seasoned veteran. And it's not like he's had hardly any success at all. And, of course, pitcher for the Rockies, you got to put that in a different category. Like I don't even know how you evaluate pitchers for the Rockies. But anyway, it's he might be this year's guy to bail out the Astros staff.
Yeah.
Because he's given them some consistency, and hopefully he can keep it up. Now, Burrows is getting skipped this weekend in the rotation. So I'm not saying they've given up on him, but they're at least like, Cat, you got to get your act together.
Yeah.
So he's going to be pitching out of the bullpen this weekend.
Okay.
But they're pitching Tongue, as they say.
Kaiwei Tongue.
Yeah, now they're saying his name is Tongue, which is fine. Just tell me how to pronounce it. I don't know how to do it. But they still got him scheduled to pitch Sunday. He's gotten lit 3 times in a row. I'm really not anxious to see him start. I don't want him off the team. I just want him in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's not a traditional starter. That's not why you brought him in.
Yeah, and so this cat Lambert might bail the team. It's like every year somebody bails him out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Someone that you've never heard of.
I don't like it.
I understand.
I'm not a big fan of it as not an Astros fan.
Y'all scored 74 runs again last night. I mean, how can the Yankees keep scoring double-digit runs without Judge? Goldschmidt is like, I mean, it's not like you have donkey names on your team. Goldschmidt was an MVP before.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
And yet he's starting to act like it again, though.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Carpenter. It's like you go into this renaissance. Now, it usually only lasts about a month, but I was in no way, shape, or form expecting them to be this good offensively without Judge.
And the Rays got 4 runs on Ohtani and still lost 5-4.
It's beautiful.
So they just keep losing and losing. I'm telling y'all, those West Coast trips are not as much fun as y'all think. The Astros have been doing it for decades.
I can't stand it.
It's not as much fun as y'all think it is.
I can't.
Those extended West Coast trips.
Yeah, you're more used to it than me. Me just doing it for like 2-minute drill and having stuff to talk about here. But like, man, these 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock start times are brutal.
Oh, man. Well, at least like the little MVPs, they do like 8:40. But I'm telling you, when I was young, I think those games used to start at 9:35. When I was like a kid and a teenager and into high school, when the Astros went play I call it the pit at old Jack Murphy were saying it seemed like they never wanted the pit. I hated that place. Or stupid Candle, Cheetle Stick Park. The game started at 9:35.
That's brutal.
I mean, at least now they start at 9, and some of them start at like 8:40.
That's why we need the expansion team in Memphis, and we can rework the divisions.
Or
not Memphis, Nashville.
Well, I think there might be one there. They're talking about Portland.
No, I
don't want that.
Asia.
But they need another one out west.
No, Nashville is the biggest growing city next to Austin. Give them.
No, I'm good with Nashville. Well, I always said the Rays should move to Nashville.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're going to do that now.
No, they're getting a new park. They can't.
They've been a mess for years, not in terms of their baseball, but in terms of their whole facility and the battle with the city and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Trop was a literal trash can. It was an awful stadium.
So I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm in a weird, like I said when Bitter called, I'm in a weird position because you know me, I'm normally looking at the reasons
Yes.
that worry me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Analyze. And right now, should be a good situation because the Guardians are reeling. They're without their best player, and the Astros kind of own the Guardians. And normally, I don't, and so it kind of scares me that I'm going into a weekend that looks this positive.
Don't get comfortable.
Getting comfortable is not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm scared right now.
I think
Color
you'll be
me
all right.
scared.
Just don't
because
get
I
comfortable.
feel so good about it, I'm scared. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros picked up their second 4-2 win over the Detroit Tigers in the rubber match of the series yesterday afternoon. Peter Lambert was excellent for Houston, going 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits with 5 strikeouts and no walks. With that win, Houston takes the series with Detroit and have now won 15 of their last 25 games. The Astros will have an off day today, then will host the Cleveland Guardians for 3 games starting Friday night. The championship matchup is officially set in Omaha. North Carolina survived and advanced yesterday, knocking out West Virginia 12-7 to claim the first spot in the College World Series Finals. Then Oklahoma followed suit in the nightcap, cruising past Georgia 11-4 to book its own trip to the championship series. With only 2 teams left, Oklahoma and North Carolina will meet Saturday night in Game 1 of the College World Series Championship Series. For the Sooners, this will be their 4th trip to the finals and first since 2022. And for the Tar Heels, it's their 3rd time in the title series and their first trip back since 2007. The second round of matches begins today in the FIFA World Cup with the Czech Republic facing South Africa at 11 a.m., Switzerland facing Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m., Canada and Qatar at 5 p.m., then Mexico and South Korea at 8 p.m. to close out the day. The 2026 U.S. Open begins today from Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. Unsurprisingly, Scotty Scheffler is the betting favorite at plus 550, with reigning Masters champion Rory McIlroy a distant second at plus 1200. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Acadiana area businesses. Is it time to make an impact? Time for more traffic, more engagement, time for more customers? Then it's time to make a splash with Bass. Bass is now offering digital marketing, indoor and outdoor digital signage, billboards, and video production to help you reach more customers and close more business. For over 30 years, Bass has helped our customers tell their story. Bass Companies. Remember, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. Advertise with Bass. Find us around Acadiana or at bassltd.com.
Looking for a great deal on golf this summer? Head to Farm Alley Golf Course for the Sizzlin' Summer Special. Every Tuesday through Thursday, tee off anytime between noon and 3:30 and enjoy 18 holes of championship golf, including a cart for just $55. That's unbeatable summer golf at an unbeatable price. Gather your friends, sharpen your game, and make the most of your afternoons at Farm Alley Golf Course. Book your tee time today and take advantage of the Sizzlin' Summer Special, only at Farm Alley.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and your home for the LSU Tigers.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Well, I looked it up during the break. Help me with the math here. There are 4 teams in the SEC that Oklahoma hit more home runs than. So what does that put them at? 10th? There are 4 teams that, so they were 10th they were 11th overall and 10th in home runs.
Okay.
And they're crushing home runs to go into the finals.
Yeah. It's just baseball.
I mean,
that's the best way you can describe it.
It is unbelievable. All right, so we've got that to look forward to over the weekend. Obviously, there's Major League Baseball. I talked about it at the top of the hour. As we go into a weekend, we've got tomorrow Mizorowski against the Braves. I mean, that's a really good matchup, and it's going to be fun just to watch, just to see what Mizorowski does and whether he stays healthy and if he can continue to be that dominant. It's just, you know me, I'm not about the individual. I tend to run from this stuff, but I guess it's a little easier for me to swallow when they're not at big market teams. Makes it a little easier for me to follow them because, you know, the media is not going to trip over themselves to over-glorify them when they're in, like, Milwaukee, you know, places like that. But we'll see what they do. So, again, Major League Baseball has given us some interesting storylines. And then, of course, if you're a fan of your team like I am, fan of the Braves or the Yankees or the Astros, whoever, you're obviously into it every day anyway if you're a fan of that team. But no, that's some interesting stuff to look forward to this weekend. All right, let us go back to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Thank you for saving me yesterday. You saved me yesterday.
How did I do that?
You know, when I called yesterday, I was mentioning names. And I forgot one, man. And I was going to say, this is for the Tecmo Bowl lovers. And I was going to go with Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. But, of course, when you mentioned Biner and Mack, that made better sense. That made more sense. And just the idea that you mentioned in Tecmo Bowl, I did not expect you to even mention Tecmo Bowl.
Well, I didn't do it. Again, I'm not a big video game person, but I did enough at that. I stopped doing it at about 89, 90 is when I'm like, I remember I was playing, and I remember the exact room I was in, and I just said, I don't like this. I'm not doing this no more. And I just stopped. But I remember enough to know that. Yeah.
Yes, I think that was the original Tecmo Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. What about Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden?
You know, Fitzgerald was really good, and Bolden for a while was really good. I think that is probably a very underrated combination, 1-2 punch. I agree. Bolden was so physical and tough, you know, the kind of receiver I like. And although Fitzgerald was more, you would call fancy or whatever, but I mean, he was big too. He was tall at least. But Bolden was just like a linebacker at wide receiver.
Hey, the Vikings had a couple of corners in the 80s. That's Browner and who? Minfield or Whit? No, that was Cleveland had Minfield.
Dirk Minniefield was Cleveland, yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to Cleveland. Minfield and who? Who was the other corner on that team?
I want to say Dixon was a safety. I don't think he was a cornerback. Hanford Dixon. I'd have to. Okay. I don't know. I'd have to think. I don't. The other cornerback's not readily coming to mind. But we haven't done. Now, I did Lester Hayes and Michael Haynes. I mentioned that earlier the week. But we haven't done enough cornerbacks. You're correct.
Now, is there a combo that you can think of besides Hayes and Haynes? Is there other combo you can think of?
I'm going to have to think.
Still holding on to? You don't want to say his name?
No. There's not someone readily in mind. No. Now, the Steelers had who was the other guy on the other side of Mel Blount? They had good cornerbacks. I mean, the teams have had good cornerbacks, no question. The Saints haven't had very many, but other teams have had really good cornerbacks, but none that like I've been holding back on. No, that are at my fingertips.
Hey, it was a nice receiver duo. It was only for like a second, but they were the first receiving duo to both catch 100 receptions in a season. And that was Brett Perriman and Herman Moore. Like for a little bit, that was a nice little duo.
Yes, and of course Brett Perriman was drafted by the Saints, so that was a little salt in the wound back then. But that Herman Moore was good. Went to Virginia. And
now
Brett
one more.
Perriman.
I know you follow the Broncos. Now what about this duo, Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey?
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about Rod Smith yesterday with Michelle and I. Russ was asking a question about him. No, I think Rod Smith's one of the most underrated receivers ever, and McCaffrey was really good, and it's funny because McCaffrey is already getting passed by some of the receivers on this team, and it just shows you the difference in the error and how much they throw the ball now. But that's an underrated one. I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. That's a good question, though. Cornerbacks, there has to be, we can come up with one good cornerback, but a lot of times when you just have one, the other side is not quite there. So I'll have to think about cornerback duos because not everybody has great corners on both sides. It's tough to do. It's not a position that's good to have a lot of really good ones. Because we talked more about running backs and wide receivers, and yesterday we had a run on quarterbacks and tight ends. And thankfully, there's some that haven't been mentioned that are just totally. But the quarterback tight end duo is a pretty special one, no question. And it's so and I've always I love the tight end because I think it's the easiest completion other than some little cheesy 2-yard back that y'all want to give points for in fantasy to a running back for where you throw the ball and he catches it and he gets -1 and you get a point for a loss on a play. I will never understand the logic of that, but it's other than that, the easiest completion is to a tight end because a lot of times you're not being defended by one of those elite cornerbacks, and the guy's so big and physical that you can make huge plays out of it. So again, from a young child, I'm like, man, I really like the tight end. Like Henry Childs made it easier because he was really good with the Saints in their early years, and but you notice it just how easy it is to complete passes to tight ends. So I get the combo between the quarterback and the tight ends. It's been a good one, no question, and we've mentioned 4 or 5 really good ones. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Make sure you celebrate America's 250th birthday with the Lafayette Stars and Stripes, held on Saturday, July the 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette. There'll be kids' activities, local pop-up shots, food, vendors, musical acts like Sold Out, Rusty Matoir, Zydeco Crush, and DJ Digital, and fireworks at night to round it out. This will be a free family event. Make sure to mark your calendars for the Lafayette Stars and Stripes presented by Lafayette Consolidated Government, LUS, LFT Fiber, Serving Good Vibes, AVA, and Delta Media Corp.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
You thinking trailers? Think Tibbs. Whether you tug it, tow it, or transport it, Tibbs Trailers is your headquarters for enclosed, flatbed, and hydraulic trailers. You won't find a better selection or a better price than right here. We've got the experts to repair or customize your trailer so it'll be ready for whatever you pull it through. Why would you go anywhere else when you can go to Tibbs Trailers? Now we're talking trailers.
Between Scott and Doosan, BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. bbsautosales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN. alexgoen.com.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net.
Back to the sports talk you not only want, but need. This is ESPN, 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back. Well, I had to look it up because Jay asked me. Frank Minifield with the Cleveland Browns on those teams in the late 80s, which we talked about yesterday with the Mack and Biner. And again, one of the great ironies is I've talked a lot of times about how the Browns have owned the Saints historically, and the best victory that the Saints have ever had was against the best Browns team they ever faced, and they beat them. And I said Hanford Dixon, but I thought for some reason he was a safety. But when I looked it up, they have him down as one of the top all-time cornerback duos, Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. So I was wrong and right at the same time. I had the right name, but I remembered him at a different position. Of course, you know, it's funny because he started this way. I also saw on this list they had Ronnie Lott. Now, I think of Ronnie Lott as a safety, but he actually began his career as a cornerback and then moved to safety. And I think he's remembered more for being safety. But early on, when he first got drafted, him and Eric Wright were a good cornerback duo. And you see, I'll even though I didn't like them, I'll mention them. But there's certain people that played for that team in that era that we won't mention. You got to have standards in your life, but you got to know where to draw the line somewhere.
Obviously,
right?
Yeah. You got to have some morals.
Yeah, some. So it's but no, we got that. I'll write down Hanford, Dixon, and Dirk Minniefield. And there's got to be some more that we're missing, and maybe we still have tomorrow and the rest of today's show to kind of come up with a few. We're gonna have a tough time narrowing this down to 10 tomorrow, I think, though.
Yeah, well, there's so many ways you can slice it too. Do you do a player and a coach like Brady and Belichick, or do you do quarterback and a wide receiver, tight end, and you could do Brady, Gronk? I'm just using him as an example. Or do you do wide receiver tandems? Or you could basically make these all their own separate category.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Brady Belichick one, to me, I don't know. I don't know how much of a duo they were. In other words, Belichick was a defensive coordinator. It's almost like little Joshy and Brady. Josh McDaniel, because he was the one that ran the offense.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Brady and Belichick communicated. They were the quarterback and the head coach. But Belichick wasn't calling plays.
Yeah, but nobody
He was calling the defensive plays.
Yeah, but nobody looks back on that time and goes, the Brady Josh or Brady McDaniel era. They say Brady Belichick. I mean, they will always be synonymous with each other.
I get that. I just don't know. They didn't work together like Casper and Breeze did. I mean, they didn't even really communicate that much about the same. They were on different sides of the ball, where their expertise. So I don't know. While I get why you would say that, obviously they're the most on paper the most successful quarterback ever. I don't know how much they actually work together.
Well, I mean, if
on a play-by-play basis, I'm talking about.
It doesn't seem like they're the biggest fans of each other either.
Oh no, I don't think.
So, in terms of if we're going off of friendship, I don't think they're cracking the top 10 for best duo.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't think that. I could imagine Holmgren and Brett Favre had quite a few battles and butted heads while they were together for a while. Because Holmgren seems like a guy who had a little bit of could have a temper and could be a little impatient at times. And Favre looked like a guy that would, if he knew he was aggravating you, keep doing what would aggravate you. He's kind of a...
Yeah. I see what you...
I could see Favre doing that. And plus, Favre early on probably did a lot of stupid things anyway.
Yeah, he's a kid from the South. He probably,
He's a riverboat gambler who he had this strong arm and he didn't mind taking chances.
He certainly did not mind taking chances.
Yeah.
That is well documented.
Yeah, he was he threw it hard. He did not have a Drew Brees approach to playing quarterback. Let's put it that way.
That's fair to say.
So I would think that him and Holmgren had. But, we talked about it before that one of the things that I really like doing, and years ago when I covered the NFL and we had media guides everywhere, I guess you could just do it online now, but for some reason I don't. I would always look back at the staffs from when you run across an old media guy. On those staffs in the mid-'90s at Green Bay, Andy Reid, Mike Holmgren, John Gruden.
Yeah.
What's his name? That was later the head coach of the Cheaters. That was on NFL Network forever.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, but anyway, it's unbelievable some of these staffs that they had. Just stacked, with future head coaches and that were really good coaches. And no, that Holmgren had quite a staff in Green Bay.
Yes, he did. He certainly did.
And they got one Super Bowl, lost another one to the Broncos.
You would think they have more with the way people.
Well, I mean, the NFL, the NFC was really good back then.
Yeah.
In the 80s, and I started to not be good right after that. That was kind of the beginning of the NFC run. But for about 20 years there, the NFC was just so good. I just wish the Saints were in the AFC because I think they'd have made the Super Bowl, but they weren't, so they didn't. 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Aber, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Aber, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealAbear.com. That's BealAbear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war. It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros picked up their second 4-2 win over the Detroit Tigers in the rubber match of the series yesterday afternoon. Peter Lambert was excellent for Houston, going 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits with 5 strikeouts and no walks. With that win, Houston takes the series with Detroit and have now won 15 of their last 25 games. The Astros will have an off day today, then will host the Cleveland Guardians for 3 games starting Friday night. The championship matchup is officially set in Omaha. North Carolina survived and advanced yesterday, knocking out West Virginia 12-7 to claim the first spot in the College World Series Finals. Then Oklahoma followed suit in the nightcap, cruising past Georgia 11-4 to book its own trip to the championship series. With only 2 teams left, Oklahoma and North Carolina will meet Saturday night in Game 1 of the College World Series Championship Series. For the Sooners, this will be their 4th trip to the finals and first since 2022. And for the Tar Heels, it's their 3rd time in the title series and their first trip back since 2007. The second round of matches begins today in the FIFA World Cup with the Czech Republic facing South Africa at 11 a.m., Switzerland facing Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m., Canada and Qatar at 5 p.m., then Mexico and South Korea at 8 p.m. to close out the day. The 2026 U.S. Open begins today from Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. Unsurprisingly, Scottie Scheffler is the betting favorite at plus 550, with reigning Masters champion Rory McIlroy a distant second at plus 1200. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, as we broadcast live from the Bill and Abear studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Abear, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. You can give us a call on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111. We had a little fun in the last segment, and during the break, we added a few, Blake and I, talking about, we came up with another 4 or 5 quarterback tight end ones.
Yes.
And I guess shame on us. We hadn't mentioned Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham for about 3 years there in the NFL. I don't know that there was a better combination than Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham. And that included wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like they were, Jimmy Graham had a couple of years there where they were fabulous. And it got to the point where obviously in the big picture, looking back, the trade that they made with Jimmy Graham was not a good one. But it had gotten to the point that duo was, he looked for Jimmy Graham so much that he stopped being Drew Brees. Brees is always like, he was looking for the open guy. And there was a time there at the end where it seemed like all he ever did was, in doubt, I'm just throwing it up to Jimmy Graham. And if he's got 3 people on him, so be it. Like, he wasn't even worried about finding the open guy anymore. He was just throwing it up to Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, it was tunnel vision.
Yeah. He kind of stopped being Drew Brees. And so that's how I rationalized that it was okay that they traded him. But and his career was never the same, Jimmy Graham. He had some good years in Seattle and Chicago, but he was never this dominant tight end anymore. So we have that one. More old school. We had mentioned Mahomes and Kelsey earlier in the week. Matt Ryan and Tony Gonzalez. Saints fans don't like giving Falcon credit, but
yeah,
Matt Ryan was not Drew Brees, but he was good. And Tony Gonzalez is arguably the best tight end ever. Not a slam dunk, but he's in that conversation.
Oh, yeah. He's in your top 5.
Yeah. You mentioned not as good, Peyton and Dallas Clark. Dallas Clark had some good years with Peyton. And going back, and again, this is a duo I didn't pull for at all, but in the 70s, Kenny Stabler and Dave Casper had a pretty good combo, 1-2 punch there in terms of tight ends in quarterback. So there's some good ones there. You're right, because we kind of asked ourselves, what position are we missing here?
Yeah, and tight end, you're really only going to pair that with the quarterback. I don't know how many teams in history have had 2 excellent, Hall of Fame caliber tight ends at the same time.
Well, I just got another good one sent to me. Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates. Man, they had a really good duo.
That's a really good one. What about John Elway and Shannon Sharp?
Ooh, shame on me for not saying that.
Also, you could do Romo and Witten. They had a lot of, they didn't win anything together, but they were very successful together.
But you see what's happening here? Like this tight end quarterback combination is more than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
When the weeks are like, there's a lot of really, really good ones.
Cam Newton and Greg Olson. The Panthers won a Super Bowl with them, right? Or no? Am I losing my mind? I know they got destroyed.
They went to a Super Bowl and lost to the Broncos.
That's what it was.
But I don't know. Was Olsen with them then? He might have been.
I don't think he had started his broadcasting career by that point. I think he was with them. You could also put Tony Gonzalez on this twice. So, him and Trent Green in Kansas City.
Yeah, I would put Ryan ahead of Trent Green. But yeah. No, again, some really good quarterback tight end matchups, 1-2 punches over the years. So, again, if you have any, you don't have to do quarterbacks, tight ends, but if you have anything to add to our Footnotes Summer Project, which got off to a slow start, but we picked up some steam the last few days this week. We're also, and our poll question of the day has to do with the College World Series and I'm suggesting that we need a third the options are pretty clear. Like, do you think North Carolina's going to win, or do you think Oklahoma's going to win?
Yeah.
And I'm suggesting probably the one that would have the highest amount of votes is if we had I don't know who's going to win option, because I don't know. I don't have a feeling. And like we said an hour ago, there's not a lot of logic in this.
No, there's none. I mean, we talked to Chris Lee this morning on Jordy's show, who's for 16 Southeastern, who covers baseball. It's all he does. He loves baseball. He covers it. He's great at it. Even he was like, I don't know. I don't even want to be asked this question on who's going to win, because it's just, you can't analyze it.
It's because it just doesn't make any sense that they're here. And we've seen runs like the Ole Miss run that we talked about earlier, where they kind of came out of nowhere. They were borderline for even getting in, and then they get on a roll and win the national championship. So on paper, North Carolina is going to win. But how do you discount it? Now, it's funny, with all of that said, and I think everything that we've said so far makes sense. But remember last week when I did my little statistical comparison, it's not like Oklahoma was 7th or 8th on that list. They weren't even 6th on the list. They were 5th out of the 8 teams here. So, yeah, it's surprising, and it is what they've done, because they did finish 11th in the SEC. But when we did the statistical comparison, they were 5th on the list.
Yeah. They did not look.
It's not like they were 8th.
They were
you know
not,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? And so maybe we weren't giving them quite enough credit for what they did in the regular season from a stats standpoint, but still, they did finish 11th in the SEC, and we're 14 and 16. So it's not like no one was saying, man, teams to watch out for going into regional play. No one was saying Oklahoma. No one.
I was surprised they got in, honestly.
Yes.
I was shocked that they got in.
All right, let us head back to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. This is Kevin. How y'all doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. Y'all still doing quarterback and tight end combo?
Oh, we're doing yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. You got another one for us?
I don't know if you said them already. We're going back in the day. How about the Snake and Casper?
Yeah, we mentioned that actually just a few minutes ago. That was a really, I didn't root for the Raiders. I might have to get a divorce if I said that I rooted for them, because my wife's a big Bronco fan. But from a historical standpoint, if it wasn't the best one of the 70s, it was pretty high on the list. I agree.
I'm going to tell you right now, I still say to this day the Raiders stopped Miami from going for their 3rd Super Bowl. I remember that one of the greatest games I ever saw when Snake threw it to Branch in the end zone with time running out as he was falling down. That's one of the greatest games I ever saw.
No, it was a great game, and I was heartbroken. I remember the exact room where I was watching that game on a little black and white TV in the back room in our house, and I was heartbroken because I was pulling for the Dolphins. But no, it was a great game, no question.
I always did like the Raiders from the Monica days, but there's a reason why they have that trophy called the Balintikov Award. That dude can catch.
And that's another one. I mentioned them the other day, but not really as a combo. And you just mentioned Cliff Branch, but Cliff Branch and Balintikov was a very good wide receiver 1-2 punch, yes.
Oh, yeah. You remember the cornerbacks for the Raiders had so much grease on them that they had to outlaw it?
Yeah, Lester Hayes. We mentioned it. Michael Haynes and Lester Hayes. They were good.
Yeah. Now, poor Daddy always said they were dirty players.
Well, they were dirty literally and figuratively, because they were literally dirty in how they played, and they were dirty because they put all that stickum on their hands.
Yeah. I think they wound up poor wide receiver for the Patriots wound up getting paralyzed, didn't he?
Yeah, that was terrible. Yes.
Yeah, and that's Jack Tatum, boy. He went for the head.
Yeah, he did. Well, look, it's great. Give us a call back during football season. It's great to talk to you. Thank you for that.
Well, my name ain't all that bad, Kevin.
I like the name. Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all take care.
You too. Take care. It's so funny that he brought up that game between the Dolphins and the Raiders. Clarence Davis was the one that actually caught that ball in the end zone. What do they call it? Hands, sea of hands or something. Go back and watch the replay. Look it up. Kenny Stabler, Clarence Davis. Tell me that wasn't a lucky game-winning touchdown. Like, the Dolphins should have won that game.
Okay.
But it's funny that he mentioned that because I don't know, you online and you just kind of run into, you stumble across something that you never thought you weren't looking for. And
you go down a rabbit hole.
There was a name that I haven't thought about in years, and I really liked him as a player back in the 70s. And he had scored what looked like to be the game-winning touchdown in that game before that Stabler was falling down and threw it up. I mean, he literally was falling down, and he just throws the ball. It almost, I don't even know if throws the word. I think he shot-putted the ball.
Heaved it.
Into the end zone, and there's a bunch of people, and Clarence Davis comes down with it, number 28, and scores the winning touchdown for the Raiders. But Benny Malone, one of our first guys that we did on this was Zonka and Mercury Mars was like one of the famous running back duos. And when they left to go to the WFL, I remember thinking, what is the WFL and what are these people doing? But then the guy that replaced him was, as the Dolphins running, was Benny Malone, who didn't have a long career, but he was really, really, really talented. But it's just funny because I just read about how Benny Malone would have been more of like a hero status because he just scored the game-winning touchdown, but it got ruined by that sea of hands play Kevin was just talking about. But no, that was those Raiders teams. One of the most incredible things to me still from the NFL in the 70s is that the Raiders, as many games as they won in the 70s and as many games as the Cowboys won in the 70s, the Raiders and the Cowboys never played each other in the Super Bowl in the 70s. Like, the Cowboys always seemed they always seemed to play the Steelers, and then that one year they played the Broncos, it was great when the Broncos beat the Raiders. And the Raiders still think they got cheated, and they probably did, but good for them because they did plenty of cheating elsewhere. And by the way, just a point, he was talking about the stick'em with the Raiders, how they cheated.
Yeah.
Notice almost all sports cheating, whether it's steroids or how to get past certain rules, it stems from that bay. It's either Oakland or San Francisco. It's either the cheaters or the A's or the Raiders. Like, all the cheating in sports comes from that Bay Area. Just note it. Just get that in the back of your mind. And when we start talking about all the cheating that comes in sports, the steroids came from that era, was born there, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there may be something in the water in that Bay Area.
And the Steelers started the steroid stuff in football, but maybe it's because they must have picked it up in one of those historic games that they had playing in Oakland Alameda Stadium against the Raiders. That was the first Hitler Stalin matchup for me.
Caught me off guard right there.
I call them Hitler Stalin match. Like, the Raiders played the Steelers in the 70s. It was like, I mean, they were both great. But I didn't know who to pull for because I couldn't stand either one of them. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Here at ESPN 103.7, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. We know you can't get enough sports in your life, so go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Turn on that bell so you can get notifications when we post our new content like popular podcasts, Ford Tire Chains, Cleats and Sneaks, original shorts like Foots, Friday Fury. And now you can stream all of our local shows on our YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to ESPN Southwest Louisiana channel on YouTube.
From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certification. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Bard.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about Elite Rehab Placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. That's 800-819-8313.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Louisiana at highschoolofficials.com.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Again, if you'd like to give us a call, the ESPN hotline, certainly feel free to do so, 706-0111. I said earlier that one of the things that I like to do back in the days of media guys was look at old assistant coaches on staffs. That, to me, that's fascinating. I remember it's just fun to do, and because you don't ever know, like guys who become famous head coaches, where they were as assistant coaches and such. Another thing that I like to do when I first started covering like Cajun baseball back in the 80s, and a lot of us know who are sports fans. We'll know who went to college, like where a lot of NFL players went to college because we watched them. And we knew a lot where college basketball players went to college because we watched them. But until, the last 20 years or so, you didn't see a lot of college baseball on TV. I mean, now it's everywhere, but when I first started covering the Cajuns in like 86, 87, like they you didn't see a lot of college baseball. So you didn't really know where a lot of these major league guys went to college.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gotten better, especially, with ESPN Plus, but I mean, it still lacks coverage compared. I mean, you turn on ESPN, they're talking about the Dallas Cowboys over the College World Series.
Yeah. And the reason why that is because the media hub of America is New York City, and ESPN and all that, in the East. Now, I mean, some of it's out West now, but the people in the Northeast, they don't even acknowledge college baseball. Like, it's not even a sport for them. Like, it's not anything they ever even think about. It's a Southern thing from passion. Now, sports-wise, competitively, it's a West Coast Southern thing. But I don't even know in the West Coast how much they talk about it, like on sports talk shows in L.A. and in San Diego. And I doubt they talk much college baseball. But anyway, I say all that to say one of the things I like doing is some of the best North Carolina players, they're in the finals. Best North Carolina players ever in major leagues. There's not as many as you would think. Like B.J. Surhoff was a good catcher for years. Went to North Carolina. Kyle Seager, who owned the Astros forever, playing third base for the Mariners, went to North Carolina. Zach Gallen's a good pitcher. But historically, they don't have a lot of great players. And neither does Oklahoma. The one that came to my mind was Bobby Witt, whose son is really good.
Yeah.
Plays shortstop for the Royals.
That's the thing. You know his son more than him.
And Danny Jackson was a really good left-handed pitcher. And recently John Gray was pretty good, but not a lot of other Oklahoma players historically. In fact, I did stumble across one that would have been one of your candidates for your Astros quiz on Friday. Went to Oklahoma. His name was Keith Drumright. Played like 1 year, like in the late 70s or something for the Astros. That would have been a good one for you.
That
Keith
sounds like
Drumright.
a good contender. Like, I could probably ask you that one in a couple weeks, and you've already forgotten him.
I would have known that he played middle infield, but I don't think I knew. I don't have any idea what his number was. But it's interesting that there's not a long list. I mean, you're not talking about little directional schools here. We're talking about North Carolina and Oklahoma, and they haven't produced that many really good Major League Baseball players. I'm a little surprised how short that list is. All right, let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, Kevin, I had a question about the Cajun softball and the transfer portal. I mean, other than the two pitcher and catcher, I think, that are allegedly or supposedly transferring out, has there been any activity or news?
No, what I have
any of the websites.
No, I haven't.
Everybody loves Coach Habits, but I mean, she can't play.
Right. What I haven't gotten is who's coming in, and I've been trying, and I'm hoping to get some news on that soon. But no, they haven't lost a lot of players. They've lost some players, but none that were like mainstays for them. And so, no, we've gotten a lot more news on the baseball side. I'm hoping to be able to get more on the softball side real soon.
Yeah, because, I mean, like I said, everybody loves Coach, but, I mean, the last 2 years, not been the best. And, I mean, I know things have...
Right. I've heard
really, not through no fault of his own, he really hurt the program by having 5 or 6 players leave with him, and then the other players that transferred, which is nobody's fault, but it's really, really lowered the program. And
yeah, it's the reality of the situation. I appreciate the call. Now, I don't know the specific, but I have heard positive rumors. I just don't like saying rumors until I know that there's some truth to them. And so I've heard that they're heading in the right direction, but I don't have names. And so hopefully we'll get that soon. But no, it's a good point. I've been efforting, as they say. Is that a good word?
Oh yeah, I like that. I like efforting.
And so, but no, baseball's done. But speaking of baseball, since I got a chance to talk to Jackson Evers yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why I like talking to players and coaches is you can look at stats. It doesn't always tell you the story. I don't know where Jackson Evers is going to fit in, though, to tell you the truth. Jackson Evers is a right-handed pitcher from Madison Ridgeland High. Some people, if you're a local high school basketball fan, you probably know about that. They've come to the Sunkiss Shootout a few times in recent years, basically a suburb of Jackson, Mississippi. And he signed with Ole Miss and then ended up going to Northwest Florida Junior College. And while he was there, he started games. He was a middle reliever. He was a closer. He did all kind of things. So during his college career, he's done a lot of roles. He was at Jacksonville State this past year. And if you remember, Jacksonville State was really good. They won 48 games, and they were one of the dark horse kind of picks going into regional. I would say, man, watch out for Jacksonville State. And they were really good and had a really good season. He was, talking to him, the role he played, he had a 4.58 ERA. He had more strikeouts than innings pitched, was just good. He only pitched in 15 games, but he was a guy, as the role it sounded like talking to him, that, it'd be around the 5th, 6th inning and things were starting to go sideways for the pitcher. They'd bring him in to kind of calm things down a little bit before they could get to their back end high leverage relievers, in the 8th and 9th inning guys. And so he would throw 1 or 2 innings there to kind of stabilize things on a really good 48-win team. So we'll see how he does. And he extended. It sounded like he extended his repertoire a little bit, and he's coming in with a lot of confidence. And so we'll see what happens. You need guys in middle relief. You need all kind of. I don't know that he'll be a weekend starter or even be a top candidate for a weekend starter, but it sounds like he could at least be an effective middle reliever, and they need that. The Kendall Dove transfer that they got from UTSA, probably maybe a little bit more of a project than Jackson is in terms of not really knowing where he would fit in and not coming off like a really fabulous type season. But he sounds like he would be maybe more of a starter, and Jackson might be more of a reliever, but we'll see. But that's 7 players that they've gotten, so they've done a good job on the baseball side. 5 of them are pitchers, so they're, who knows how many of them are going to be effective. We've seen it in the last 2 or 3 years with the transfer portal. Some of them have come in, and some of these transfer portal pitchers have done nothing, and some have done really well. And so you don't know. I mean, we found out at LSU this year, just because someone sounds good and had great numbers at the previous school doesn't mean they're going to come to you and have great numbers.
Yeah, it means absolutely nothing.
So we don't know. And but no, there's something in numbers. And again, I don't know how many more pitchers the Cajuns are going to add, but they have added 5. And so I don't know. What would you say? If they hit on 3 of them, that's tremendous. If they hit on 2 of them, good. The chance of hitting on all 5 are probably not real. It's probably not realistic. Well, maybe realistic, but shouldn't be expected. If they could hit on 3 of the 5 that are like mainstay options for them, that's good. And if one of them's a starting pitcher on their weekend, that's even better. But
it's tough to hit on all of them.
Having mainstay options, even in the bullpen, is very important. all you got to do is watch baseball, and you see how there's not a lot of guys going 8 and 9 innings.
No.
So you need guys to pitch the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th innings. And so if they can hit on 3 of them, be tremendous. And the good thing about it for the Cajuns is 3 of them are pitchers that Coach Sandefur coached already. So it's not like you're going to have to, in most of these situations where you got transfer portal, you're having to learn.
Yeah, you're having to learn.
You're having to
system.
develop relationships. And on 3 of these 5, they're not going to have to develop the relationship because it's already there. And he already knows their strengths and weaknesses and what they can do. So you would think that would increase the ability for them to kind of get the best out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, also just having that familiarity. One of the biggest things I think a lot of people don't think about when kids transfer is like you're going to a new city by yourself 99% of the time. You don't know anybody there. Yeah, you may have played ball with somebody growing up, but like generally speaking, these are all random people. You're in a new environment. Having somebody like a former coach, that's pretty big to help you get acclimated,
especially
and just feel
your
comfortable.
Position coach. Yes. Yeah,
that's huge. That's huge. I think that gets overlooked too much.
Plus, they've got 2 teammates for sure that they know.
Yeah, that's another huge part of it.
And so, yeah, you like the options there. But, again, at this point, it's all a guessing game. But I'm hoping real soon to be able to give a little more info on the softball side. It was this way last year. It's not different coaches have different ways of handling stuff like that, and some are more secretive than others, and that's just life. I mean, I've learned that. There's no use to fight it. But, no, I will we'll try to get more information on the softball side. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros picked up their second 4-2 win over the Detroit Tigers in the rubber match of the series yesterday afternoon. Peter Lambert was excellent for Houston, going 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits with 5 strikeouts and no walks. With that win, Houston takes the series with Detroit and have now won 15 of their last 25 games. The Astros will have an off day today, then will host the Cleveland Guardians for 3 games starting Friday night. The championship matchup is officially set in Omaha. North Carolina survived and advanced yesterday, knocking out West Virginia 12-7 to claim the first spot in the College World Series finals. Then Oklahoma followed suit in the nightcap, cruising past Georgia 11-4 to book its own trip to the championship series. With only 2 teams left, Oklahoma and North Carolina will meet Saturday night in Game 1 of the College World Series Championship Series. For the Sooners, this will be their 4th trip to the finals and first since 2022. And for the Tar Heels, it's their 3rd time in the title series and their first trip back since 2007. The second round of matches begins today in the FIFA World Cup with the Czech Republic facing South Africa at 11 a.m., Switzerland facing Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m., Canada and Qatar at 5 p.m., then Mexico and South Korea at 8 p.m. to close out the day. The 2026 U.S. Open begins today from Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. Unsurprisingly, Scottie Scheffler is the betting favorite at plus 550, with reigning Masters champion Rory McIlroy a distant second at plus 1200. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Everybody's talking about the big, beautiful bill, and it's game-changing for taxpayers. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've read the bill, and if you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and get it resolved. This new legislation could give you a chance to get things straight with the IRS. Whether it's getting caught up on unfiled returns or negotiating IRS debts, there are a lot of new deductions and opportunities in the big, beautiful bill, and the Bryson Law Firm knows how to use them strategically. We've been staying on top of the tax changes in the big, beautiful bill, and we're ready to help our clients take full advantage. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm, LSP filing number LA2519079.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Kevin Foote claims not to be a QW.
Now, here's the deal. I don't know that I can do anything.
Yet our guy can't stop talking about quarterbacks, especially Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Could he secretly be a QW?
I said you were a closet QW, as we discussed. I think you're more obsessed with the quarterback position and a worshiper than you realize.
Back to more Footnotes with Southwest Louisiana's biggest QW, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Sometime I have to comment on the little, what do you call those things from a technical standpoint?
That's a rejoin.
A rejoin. The rejoins. Most of the time I don't comment on them, but sometimes there's a little story that goes along with it. So, you know our friend Nick.
Oh, yeah.
He's a QW, and he gets really mad at me when I spout non-QW rhetoric out there. And so it's kind of a running thing we got going. And he texted a couple days ago that he's kind of like, I don't have it in front of me, but basically what he said was he's kind of not looking forward to, I guess, and looking forward to at the same time, kind of, because obviously the Saints, we think they have a quarterback in Tyler Shuck, that of the Saints being good and me not giving Tyler Shuck proper credit because, you know, I'm not a QW.
Not a QW.
And, of course, my response was, I sure hope, you know, basically now that the Saints have another quarterback that everyone's going to be behind and we think could be really good. I said, I sure hope that Tyler Shuck is way better at making field goals, tackling people on special teams, and playing defense than Drew Brees was. Because Brees wasn't too good at those things.
Yeah.
He didn't make a lot of field goals. Now, Brady was really good on special teams. You know, that's what they tell me. Like, you know, he could make field goals and he could tackle on special teams like crazy. And his defense, I mean, he forced a lot of turnovers.
He did. He did force a lot
of turnovers on defense.
Schemed up a lot of great defenses, too.
But Brees, as good of a quarterback, he didn't make a lot of field goals. I mean, late in his career, he made a few. But he didn't make a lot of field goals. And his special teams were, for the most, until late in his career, were just horrible. Horrible. I mean, I still remember that game in Gotham when they set the all-time record for kickoff return yardage in the game. Brees did not do a good job in that game, tackling on the kick coverage teams. And his defenses, like, he had some historically bad years defensively, Brees. Like, in 12 and 14 and 15. I mean, those defenses were awful. Some of those defenses were like some of the worst, seriously, in NFL history. So I'm ready to have good quarterback play. I just hope this quarterback is way better at kicking field goals and playing defense and playing special teams than Brees was. What do you think?
I think he's got I mean, look, we've only had 1 year and not even a full one at that, but I think he's got a good base around him to have that be the case. Everything looks positive.
I hope. Again, I still think the biggest question mark on this team is the kicker. I hope he's good. I see why people think he might be good, but kickers are kind of like relief pitchers, some of them. It shouldn't be, but they're kind of like relief pitchers in that from year to year, you know, they can get kind of squirrely. They can kind of, have coming off a good year and then miss a bunch of kicks. And okay, I got a question. I'll remind you. For those of you who don't know what a QW is, it's a quarterback worshiper. It's the American sports public. They think quarterbacks do everything. It's all about the quarterback. They think that the game of football is, they wouldn't tell you that they think this, but they really do think this. That the game of football is nothing more, no more complicated than a game of horse between quarterbacks. That's what they think. Most people, most media members, and most fans think the game of football is. And so I came up with the term QW, quarterback worshiper. I am not a QW at all, because I feel like I respect the game and everybody's contribution to the game. And that's why I said, I hope everything you hear about Tyler Shuck is just wonderful. It was very exciting to see everything that he did last year. I just hope he does a better job of making kicks and playing special teams and getting off the field on third down than Breeze did, because Breeze, he wasn't very good at those things until very late in his career. He did not do a good job of making kicks at all. Thankfully, he made some 40-yarders in the Super Bowl game to beat the Colts. But he was not good on special teams, and a lot of Breeze's, third down. He had some really awful years, and third down, getting off the field on third down, and got so many penalties, so many pass interference penalties. Like 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, if you remember, man, he got a lot of pass interference penalties. And hopefully Tyler Shuck can do much better job of doing that this year, in those areas. I don't know that – I don't expect Shuck to ever be a better pure passer or understand the game. He'll have a stronger arm. He already has a stronger arm than Breeze ever did. But I don't know that he'll be the expert passer that Breeze was, but I sure hope he makes more field goals than Breeze and tackles and executes on special teams and gets off the field on third down better than Breeze. And hopefully Eddie Haskell can help him. But no, I'm trying. I don't know if you've noticed in recent weeks since the draft, we've talked about the Saints, but not a lot. And part of that is it's baseball season and, college baseball and all, and the NBA. We've talked about the NBA. Now that the finals is over, we won't talk about that much anymore. Although there are some NBA things that we're going to be talking about in coming weeks, like, are they ever going to do something with Giannis? Are we going to just keep talking about it and nothing's ever going to happen? And if it happens, we'll certainly discuss it. But, and it's amazing how many people were thinking that the Knicks needed to get Giannis. Now no one is saying the Knicks need to get Giannis. No one is saying that. But no, part of is that I don't want to go down that road too far, because the anticipation level is going to get really high real soon. And the month of August is going to be absolute agony for me. It is every year. Of course, I'm more of a glass half overflow it kind of a guy. And so my months, the anticipation in August for me is always high. But this year, with all the progress to the depth chart last season, and especially this offseason and another draft that looks like it could be very beneficial after the outstanding draft. I mean, the Mixter is on a roll. He's been on about a 2 or 3 year, just an absolute roll. You want to talk about a winning streak. The Mixter's been on a winning streak. And so the anticipation with all the progress of the depth chart is going to be I don't want to say an all-time high, but at about a 5 or 6 year high for sure. And for me, it's more of an all-time high because, again, this is the most fun time, in my opinion, to be a fan of a team. 5 and 6 and 7 years ago, when a lot of people were projecting the Saints as prime Super Bowl contenders, it's fun, but that's not as fun as this. That, I don't even know if fun is the word. That's more agony because the expectations are so high and everything matters and there's no room for error and you got to win. And I don't know that's really not that much fun to me. For some people, it's fun because they just like talking trash and all that. That really isn't that much fun for me. This is fun. When you're building and you got a new team and you got a bunch of good young players and a lot of people aren't expecting anything out of you nationally, so you get to go prove them wrong. That's fun. Being really, really good like the Saints were for a while and like the Astros were, it's fun to win, but it's not as much fun as when you're winning like right now. It's not. That's being the powerhouse team is not as much fun for me as being the team where you can start to see how good they're going to be before nationally understand, and then you can get to prove them wrong, and then you build with young players, and you see the young. That is the most fun as a fan. So this is going to be as fun and as torturous a month of August because I cannot wait to see what happens. So I've been trying to hold off on Saints talk, but believe me, it's coming once we get a little closer. It's coming. I just hope Tyler Shuck can make field goals. We'll see. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Home electrical safety, up next from Mr. Electric. Because one power strip can clearly handle your TV, your radio, your lamp, your phone charger, your heater, and whatever else you get plugged in there. Of course, that's sarcasm. Do not overload your outlets and never run cords under rugs or furniture. And if an outlet is hot, a breaker keeps tripping, or something smells suspiciously bad, call a licensed electrician. When it comes to electricity, trying to be a hero is a great way to end up in the news for the wrong reason.
If you would like to learn more, visit MrElectric.com.
It's generator season. Here's Sean Dore with Mr. Electric.
Standby generators are automatic. These come on right as your power's off. Right when you lose power, here comes your generator power within less than a minute. And now you're running like normal. And so those generators, they're a little more expensive, but they are very convenient.
Call Mr. Electric today or see us on Facebook.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen, patented hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com. Goen. AlexGoen.com.
Before hitting the road, get hooked up at Match Trailers on Bertrand Drive. Everything you need from truck equipment, accessories, and trailer parts, Match Trailers has it. Match Trailers, 1849 Bertrand Drive in Lafayette, or give Matt a call at 235-7534.
Go check out our YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA for the latest episodes of Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh and Ford Tire Change with Dawson Isolo and much more. That's ESPN, Southwest Louisiana's sports station on YouTube.
Welcome back to Footnotes. All right, well, we made a lot of progress today on our Footnotes Summer Project. We'll have one more day tomorrow. We got, I think the most surprising thing is how many quarterback tight end combos that we've got on the list. I didn't count them, but it's getting to be a pretty long list of the quarterback tight end. And we didn't do it as an official nomination, but for the Saints it goes back to Archie and Henry Childs. Henry Childs was really good, and that 78 season where the Saints should have had their first winning season and first playoff appearance ever, if not for two fluke /cheat losses to the Falcons. The Saints had Archie was the NFC Offensive Player of the Year that year, and he was in the Pro Bowl. That was back when we kind of cared a little bit about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Henry Childs was in the Pro Bowl, and Wes Chandler was in the Pro Bowl, and Muncie was in the Pro Bowl. So that was pretty good representation in the Pro Bowl from that Saints team that went 8-8 or 7-9, and should have been. They should have been in the playoffs and won the division and all that year. That just didn't happen because of those two stupid losses to the Falcons. And that was really when Saints fans, I guess they didn't really like the Falcons before, but that was really where the hatred for the Falcons began. And that 1978 two games where they lost 20-17 both times on a stupid Hail Mary, what they call Big Ben, and then the officials cheating on a bogus pass interference call. And then the next year opening up, that was also when I started to realize that this NFL schedule stuff ain't random. And they opened up the next season with the Falcons, and of course, the Saints lost 40-34, which is double 2017 in overtime. Oh, it's the most aggravating, nauseating, anger-filled 3-game stretch in probably a series history. That you could possibly have when you consider it all. That's why later that year when they went to Fulton County and beat them 37-6, that was a very fulfilling victory. That's one of the more underrated victories in, I think the final score was 37-6. Maybe it was 27-6. But it was something like that. That's one of the more underrated great victories in Saint history because they had come off of 3 complete agonizing losses, and to go to Fulton County and crush their face in that rematch that year was fun. So they needed that. But no, it's again Archie Manning and Henry Childs. So I don't know. I don't know if we've exhausted the quarterback tight end. I don't know if you can do that. But again, the amazing thing to me is, those are all pretty legitimate.
Oh, yeah.
They're all legitimate ones. And I'm like, man, that's a lot of legitimate 1-2 punches there at the tight ends. I guess because most teams just have one good tight end. Yeah. Hopefully the Saints this year have 2 good tight ends. And so when you think of wide receivers, unless you have a Hall of Fame type receiver, then you're kind of splitting it up when you're throwing to receivers. But when you're throwing to a tight end, you're throwing to your main guy most of the time.
You usually are not going to pay 2, big contracts for tight ends. It's just not how it's going to work.
Man, what if the Saints have 3 good tight ends this year?
It'd be a great problem to have.
It's very possible.
Oh,
Noah Fant's not great, but he's good. He's a good backup. I would say he's an above-average backup.
Yeah, I think he would play on a lot of teams.
Jawan Johnson had a lot of success once Shuck took over.
Yeah.
And then they drafted one who's very, very talented. We'll see how he fits in.
It's, like I said, good problems to have. All the vibes right now, positive. Positive vibes.
Man, if Shuck can just make field goals, think about how good they could be.
And pick the ball off, too.
Yeah, catch the ball when they throw it to him.
He might be the first quarterback ever to catch his own pass and go for a touchdown. I'm sure somebody else has done it by a tip, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. I believe.
Man. Are you ready? Or not yet?
I'm ready as a fan. Am I ready for your type of ready? And, analyzing the analytics and everything and going crazy over a week one? Probably not.
I need a few Astro wins between now and then. I just want to have like a major league. That will help prepare me for football season.
Yes.
If the Astros over the next month can come up with a major league starting rotation.
Yeah. And for me, you being angry about the Astros prepares me for football season.
Okay, well, that's fair. I guess I kind of need the other way. We'll see. One more day. We'll finish out things tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle